One of the biggest challenges my wife and I had before moving to Salem, Oregon was figuring out which neighborhood we wanted to live in. Because, in our opinion, your home is much more than the house that you live in. It's really the neighborhood and community that you are a part of. And if you're not familiar with the city that you're moving to, as we weren't the most familiar with Salem, we had some information. I have a brother that lives here. We've visited a few times. But we really didn't know which neighborhood was going to be the best fit for us when buying a home. And we knew before figuring out which house was going to be best for us, we had to figure out which neighborhood was going to be best for us. And only then can we then focus on the home. And this is something that you may be going through. And that's why I am doing this video, to help guide you on figuring out which neighborhood is going to be best for you buying a home. Now, you may be thinking you need to be close to I-5 freeway, or maybe being close to amenities is important to you. Maybe you just want to be on the outskirts of the city. Maybe being close to downtown, being close to the hospital, being close to nature. All of these factor in, and that's going to determine which neighborhood is going to be best for you when buying a home. And you're going to want to stay to the end of the video, because that's when I'm going to reveal which neighborhood that my family and I chose, and it actually may come to a surprise based on what you see throughout this video. I'm going to be focusing on various neighborhoods that make up the city of Salem. I'm also going to be revealing the median home price, because let's face it, when considering buying a home, price is a factor, and that could also help determine of which neighborhood is going to be best for you when buying your home. We are going to be starting off in a neighborhood that I like to call the suburbs with convenience, and this is going to be South Salem. Now, when I refer to South Salem, I am talking the region that is going to be south of the downtown area, between the Willamette River or River Road to the west, and to the east is going to be the I-5 freeway. It is a large portion that we're going to be covering. There are many sub-neighborhoods within this area, and as a map popped up, you can see where it is located in relation to the rest of the city. So you have easy access to everything that you would want and need. And the really cool thing about this neighborhood is the further away you get from Commercial Street or Liberty Street, either going east or west or even south, you feel like you're still a little bit away from it all, yet super close to amenities, which makes it a very popular portion of Salem for people to move to, because it's kind of the best of both worlds. When you live in the South Salem area, you are really close to a lot of different market options like Safeway, Roth's, which is a little bit higher end, Trader Joe's, which is one of my favorite markets that I go to at least once a week, Wilco, natural grocery stores. You're also close to some big box stores like Fred Meyer, which is kind of like a Target, just a little bit less expensive, and Walmart. Of course, everyone knows Walmart. Also to note that the only Costco in Salem or the Salem area is actually in the southern section of Salem, so it's in this region, making it really easy to go to. You're also really close to a lot of casual dining, casual restaurants, especially along Commercial Street and Liberty Street. It's also home, this area is home to one of 4 food trucks. This one here is called the Beehive. We've got about 7 to 10 food trucks out there, really popular place to go to. South Salem is also home to one of the 3 more popular theaters that we have here in Northern Lights Theater. You are also in close proximity to any and all professional services and retail outlets that you would ever need in your day-to-day life. Something to note is that you are also 10 to 15 minutes away from the downtown area, making easy access to your entertainment or shopping needs in the downtown area. So again, this neighborhood is super convenient, easy to get to, all your amenities and everything that you would need. Now you may be wondering what type of homes that you're going to find in this neighborhood, and they do vary, and they're all over the spectrum. A lot of the homes will be kind of mid-century homes, mid-century classics. You'll find ranch homes. You'll find homes, there's some hillside properties as well. You will find some new construction communities. It's a little rare, but you will find them. You will find some golf course communities that like Creekside Estates, where some of the homes run along the golf course, or the homes actually have this HOA where you can have access to the golf course there. South Salem is also home to a couple luxury neighborhoods. We have Croissant Mountain, which is a little private road that leads up to a number of homes, hillside living with beautiful, spectacular views, large homes, large lots. And you also have Illy Hills, which is another kind of like a golf course community as well, although you don't have to become a member, but there's also some large homes, large lots there, and kind of tucked away in the southern portion of Salem. Just note though, if you are going to live in either one of those 2 more luxury neighborhoods, you're going to be a little bit further away from the amenities, but again, there's kind of pros and cons to that type of living. South Salem is also home to our one and only agrihood, and if you're not familiar with that, it's a really cool concept where kind of agriculture meets neighborhood. It's kind of a community living style neighborhood. Smaller homes, smaller lots. In fact, most of them don't have backyards, but you have shared gardens, shared orchards, shared walking paths, shared common facilities. Pretty cool neighborhood. If you want more information, definitely reach out to me and I'll do that. What a lot of people like about the South Salem area is that there's a lot of neighborhood parks within South Salem. So a lot of these sub neighborhoods that I've mentioned have their own little neighborhood or community park. Some of the big ones that are really nice, there's Brian Johnson Park, there's Nelson Park, and there are many more. And they're just really awesome areas, open spaces in the neighborhoods, making it really nice and community driven, where a lot of people make use of these parks that live in those neighborhoods. And you're also just about maybe 10 minutes away from one of our biggest kind of nature reserves areas in the Salem area, in the Mento Brown Island Park, which done many videos on that. If you want more information, check out some of those videos. But in short, it's hundreds of acres of open land, walking paths that run along the river. They've got a couple off-leash dog parks there, and just a really nice place for a casual stroll. And it's really cool to enjoy the different seasons that we have here in Salem there. So if you're looking for established neighborhoods with convenience and still close to the downtown area and have really cool parks and amenities surrounding you, then South Salem might be the best neighborhood for you. And the median home price for this large region is going to be about $470,000. Now, of course, in those luxury neighborhoods, you're going to be a lot higher, $800,000, and yes, they can go up to $1 million. But just note that the median price is about $470,000. Now, if you are looking for a little bit more action or being more closer to the buzz of Salem, the downtown area, then this next neighborhood is going to be for you. If you love the idea of historic homes, a large park anchoring a neighborhood, and super close, even I'll say walkable to the downtown area, then this neighborhood might be the best one for you when buying a home. It is called Bush's Pasture Park or South Central, depending on who you talk to. Those are what these neighborhoods are going to go by. There are a number of homes that are actually historically designated, so there are pockets that have historical designation in these areas. You're going to find bungalow homes, craftsman-style homes. These are homes that when you look at them, they've got the long porch that kind of goes across the width of the entire front of the house, so it's something where you'd sit, you see neighbors sitting on their front porch just enjoying the views of the neighborhood. And it is beautifully tree lined, a lot of old growth trees and oak trees that are just lining the streets. The spring colors really pop in this area because people here, for whatever reason, love planting their spring flowers here. It's just a really cool historic neighborhood to drive through or live in if that's what you're looking for. Now, a lot of these homes are on the older side. Many of them have been updated and remodeled inside. There are some restrictions if you are buying an historic home, but I can certainly go over those details. If you do have any questions, you can comment below or reach out to me at the contact information that's going to pop up later in this video. Now, I mentioned Bush's Pasture Park. This is a park that really is the center focal point. It anchors this little neighborhood and really brings the community together. They have events here, but they have walking paths, open fields. They've got a beautiful rose garden, gazebo, historic home. They have a playground. They've got different fields for playing sports. They've got trails that run through a creek. They also have the annual summer art festival is here. It's a really cool event, very popular, and it's just a place that you're going to see people that live in this community frequent very often. It's just a beautiful, peaceful place right in the center of the neighborhood. And as I mentioned, you are really, really close to the downtown area, just about 2 blocks or so to the downtown area, where if you like that type of lifestyle, if you want to be closer to the buzz of the city of Salem, then this neighborhood would be a great place for you to buy a home. The downtown area's got some great entertainment, great restaurants. You've got a lot of great local coffee places. In fact, I know a lot of people that live in this neighborhood that just walk to their favorite coffee place in the downtown area, and it's a really peaceful walk where you walk by parks and you walk by a creek, and it's just quiet and very welcoming. So it's a very popular place for people that really want that urban feel, want the historic charm. You kind of get all of that in the Bushes Park neighborhood area. You're also very close to the Mento Brown Island Park, which I mentioned before. You're like maybe 5 minutes away, so you actually have really easy access to 2 of our biggest parks here in the city of Salem. There's also some conveniences to living in this area. You are really close to Liberty Street and Commercial Street. And as I mentioned before in that previous neighborhood, that's where you're going to find a lot of our retail and professional services. So there is some easy access when living in the Bush Park area as well. Now, if you're looking for newer homes, this is not going to be the right neighborhood for you to buy in. These homes are older, and again, I mentioned a lot of them have been updated, so they do have more modern amenities inside the house, but you still have an older home in general, and a lot of the homes still kind of have more of their original state. So some people love that, some people don't. So again, if you're looking for a little bit newer construction or just even mid-century construction, you may not necessarily find that in this particular neighborhood, but it has everything else that I mentioned, and it's a really cool spot when you want that more of that city buzz, urban feel. And the median home price here in this area is going to be about $500,000. The biggest challenge for my wife and I was finding that perfect neighborhood, and I'm hoping this video is going to make it a little bit easy for you, giving you an overview of each neighborhood. I just want to remind you, I am Dave Fine with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty, a local real estate agent. I love helping people relocate to the city of Salem because I have a good understanding of what that's like. I'm not a local, so I know what you're going through. I know what you may be experiencing, some of the questions you may have. If you are thinking about buying a home, moving to Salem, Oregon, hit me up at the contact information popping up or in the description below, and I'd love to help. Comment below any questions that you have. Hit the like button to get this video out to more people, and definitely subscribe if you want more videos that are going to help you get a better understanding of the lifestyle that we have here in Salem, Oregon. Now, this next neighborhood that we're going to jump into is similar to the first neighborhood that we talked about, in that this is kind of like a suburb with convenience, except just in a different part of Salem. We're going to be focusing right now on the northern and eastern portions of the city of Salem. Now, when I say this, it's debatable, but I'm generally talking east of the I-5 freeway, or maybe just a couple blocks or a neighborhood in from even west of the I-5 freeway, but right around that area. What makes this neighborhood really convenient is that a lot of the homes are really close to Lancaster, and Lancaster is a big street, another big street that runs north and south through Salem, except in the eastern portion. And many of the homes here are about 5-10 minutes away from here, and this is where you're going to find all of your amenities, similar to Commercial Street and Liberty, except this is Lancaster. You are going to find your markets like Safeway and Roth's. You are also going to find a lot of retail outlets. You're going to find a lot of more international markets here, which is really cool. If you're looking for different types of food, this is definitely the area to be in and to shop. This portion of Salem, this area, is also home to our one and only big box shopping center, the Willamette Town Center, which runs along Lancaster and Center Street. This is where you're going to find stores like TJ Maxx, Sierra, Home Goods, Hobby Lobby, Best Buy, Foot Locker, DSW, Barnes & Noble, Nordstrom's Rack. You also have one of three big theaters here, which is the Regal Theater right here in the shopping center. You have a couple casual dining options like Applebee's and Ruby's, Dave's Hot Chicken, Chipotle, Panera Bread, Mod Pizza, there's Crumble Cookie, a couple other places I'm probably missing. But this is our big box shopping retail store. So if that's something that's important to you, to be close to something like that, then the northern eastern portion of Salem is going to be a good fit for you when buying a home. Also to note, right across from the shopping center is our only Target in the Salem area. So again, if you want to be really close to a Target, this is the only Target in Salem, as I mentioned. There is another Target that we do go to sometimes. It's in Kaiser, which is a little bit north of us. It's a kind of our sister city to the north. But again, when you're in this area, it's super convenient because you just have everything that you would want and need right in this region of the Salem area. What also makes this really convenient is that you are really close to the I-5 freeway. So commuting or being close to the freeway for whatever reason is important to you, that you're 5-10 minutes, easy access, couple access points to I-5. You're about 10-15 minutes from the downtown area. So again, you are pretty close to the entertainment, shopping, the coffee, the restaurants that we would have in downtown Salem. So again, you're not too far away from there either. You're also just to the east of this area along Cordon Road, you have a lot of our farmland. And the reason I'm mentioning it is not necessarily that you're into agriculture or going to be a farmer, but my family and I find ourselves going to these farms quite often during the U-pick season, which is spring through fall. And we go here often to pick all of our fresh berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. We go there to pick apples and pears. And they do events throughout the season really fun activities. And so if that's something that's attractive to you or you want to be close to, then this northern and eastern portion of Salem is going to be a good fit for you when buying a home. Also, fall festivities, these farms, a lot of the same farms open up for fall festivals with pumpkin patches, corn mazes, kids activities, food trucks, music, entertainment, games, and more. And it's right there in your own backyard when living in this portion of Salem. Also, something to note, if you are looking for new construction, one of the biggest new construction projects is occurring right here in this portion of Salem. It's running along Corbin Road and State. And so right at that intersection, there are hundreds of new single-family homes and multifamily homes that are being built right in this area. So if you're looking for brand new construction, and it's also probably the most affordable new construction homes you're going to find in the Salem area. So if that's something that's important to you, then you're definitely going to want to check out this section of the Salem area. And if you're trying to figure out median home price or what it's going to cost to live in this area, it's one of your more least expensive areas at around $430,000 for the median home price. Now, if you really like the idea of bush pasture park living with historic homes, historic districts, bungalow style, craftsman style homes, but maybe that was a little bit out of your price point, well, then this next neighborhood might be the right fit for you, as we're going to be talking about a neighborhood that is similar in style with historic homes just north of the downtown area, whereas prior Bush Park was south. So just north of downtown is going to be the Grant and Highland area. It's another historic district area. We're going to have some really cool old homes, craftsman style bungalow homes with those big porches to kind of chill and relax on them, taking in the views of the neighborhood, saying hi to the neighbors. And being so close to the downtown area makes it really convenient to take advantage of everything that downtown has to offer. What people like about this neighborhood is that it gives people an opportunity to buy these types of homes, but at a much lower price point. Now, sure, the homes are a little bit smaller and the lot sizes are a little bit smaller, but still gives you that opportunity to buy that charm that Salem offers really close to the downtown area. When I say close, you're about 5, maybe 10 minutes out from all the amenities that you would want in downtown. What is also interesting about this neighborhood is that it is really close to 2 indoor family playground, family fun centers. So if you've got kids, and we go to these centers all the time, if you got kids, it makes it really convenient. First one being Athletic Edge. It's kind of a 2-part facility. They have a whole gymnastics center, which is really big here in the Salem area, and they've got different camps there. And then you have another section, which is more of the indoor playground that's just actually been recently more updated. You can get food, drinks there. Kids can run wild. It's a blast, especially because of the type of weather we have. We find ourselves trying to find indoor activities. This is right in the backyard if you're living in the Grant and Highland area. They also do birthday parties there, a very popular place for that. Also, in the backyard of this neighborhood is the Kroc Center. These are throughout the country. So if you're not familiar with it, though, again, it's this indoor activity center where they've got activities and programs and classes for not only kids but for adults. We also have an indoor swimming pool with a really cool water slide. They've got a rock climbing wall. They've got all sorts of indoor fun things that you can do with family and with your kids. And again, if that's important to you and you want to be close to something like that, they have camps as well during the summer, during the school year. So this would be a great place to live for convenience. There's a really cool park in and around this neighborhood called Englewood Park. Really big old growth, almost like a forest type park. Has its own playground. They have the Forest Fest here, which is really awesome. It's dedicated to celebrating nature, and they've got music and crafts and food and entertainment. It's a really cool place to go. They do it annually here, and that's right in your own backyard as well. Now, as far as amenities and conveniences go, you actually find yourself probably going into our sister city, Kaiser, which is just north of this neighborhood, where you're going to find some of your markets, Fred Meyer, Safeway, and other retail outlets and professional services. You can find some of those retail and professional services downtown area, but as far as like your day-to-day retail type of shopping, then you actually might find yourself going into Kaiser. But when I say that, again, you're only like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes away. You're just going a little bit north and out of Salem, but it doesn't really matter. It's Kaiser's almost like a suburb of Salem, in my opinion. Don't tell people of Kaiser because they may have a very different opinion. It is a separate city, to be fair, but it's very similar lifestyle. And when we're talking about pricing, I mentioned it's a lot cheaper than the Bush Pasture Park area, and you will see when I note that the median home price here is going to be around $360,000, so significantly lower, and you still get that charm with the older homes that I mentioned. Now, if you made it this far in the video, awesome. You get to be here for the big reveal of where my wife and I chose to move our family to, and that is West Salem. Now, West Salem is a little bit controversial, and I'll explain that a little bit later in this section, but we absolutely fell in love with this area because we wanted a neighborhood that was going to be a little bit away from it all, and yet still super convenient and close to the downtown area. Within West Salem, you are going to find neighborhoods that have beautiful scenic views of the valley, mountains, river, downtown, and farmland. And that was a big draw for us as well. We absolutely love the idea of having a view not only from our house, but just driving through the neighborhood, seeing the expansive views over the valley and over the city. Just gives you a little bit sense of space, a little bit sense of like just that you can breathe a little bit easier. It's a little bit hard to explain until you really experience that. Given that we came from a very large city in Los Angeles, we didn't know what that felt like. And so this was unique for us, and it was something that we were desiring for and looking for when making the move to Salem, Oregon. We also love the idea of living kind of on the edge of Salem where that there is farmland that surrounds us. And for me, I love it because honestly, when I just need a little bit of an escape, I hop in the car, I drive less than a mile, and I'm out in country roads, just taking nice scenic views, nice breath of fresh air, and I just love driving through those meandering roads. Also, we are right next door to the heart of the Willamette wine country. So if you are into wine drinking or love going to wineries, or if that's just something that you think you would like doing, if you haven't done it, then West Salem is going to be really convenient for doing that with hundreds of wineries and vineyards right next to us in West Salem. There's also two very large parks here in the West Salem area in the Orchard Heights Park, which is right in the middle of the neighborhood in West Salem. You've got a little walking path, a little bit of a creek there, playground. You've got baseball fields, pickleball courts, basketball court, little dog park there. You also have Wallace Marine Park in West Salem, which runs along the Willamette River. Large open fields. They've got soccer fields. They've got a beautiful baseball complex there, a playground. And again, it runs along the Willamette River, so you do have boat access or you get access to the river. Now, I will mention one of the controversies about this park is that it does have quite a bit of homeless encampments that run along some of the part of the banks of the river. I haven't personally seen a lot of homeless in the parks during the day or at any of the sporting events that we go to, but I also haven't ventured off into the forested area by the river where I know that's where a lot of the encampments are. So just a heads up, again, being fully transparent, sharing the goods and the bads of neighborhoods and of Salem. The interesting and kind of controversial thing about the West Salem area is that it is separated off from the rest of the city by the Willamette River. And the only way to get to the rest of Salem really is to go over the bridge, which honestly, it's like a minute to get across unless there's some traffic. And that's kind of part of the controversy is if there's traffic or an accident on the bridge, it could cause quite a bit of a backup, not only on the bridge, but through Wallace Road, which is a big north-south road in the West Salem area. And it can cause a little bit more traffic. So people just don't necessarily like the idea of having to cross the bridge because they think it's a lot of traffic. If you are moving from a big city, the traffic is not a big deal. I know for locals it is because they've seen an uptick in people moving into Salem, so there's just more traffic in general. But it is nothing compared to big city traffic. It adds like maybe an extra 5 minutes to 10 minutes to my commute. Really nothing more than that. Also, people that live in the rest of Salem don't necessarily come into West Salem because there really isn't necessarily a big draw or reason for people to come here. And that, for me, is actually the beauty. People that are in West Salem are people typically that live in West Salem. So it has its own little tight-knit community. And we also have everything that we need on this side of the bridge in West Salem. We don't have to cross over. We've got grocery stores like Safeway and Ross. We've got some casual food and dining restaurants. We've got conveniences like a Walgreens and some other retail shops and shopping areas. So necessities are all right here. You do not have to cross the bridge. Where it becomes a little bit of an issue is if you're someone that is in need of a lot of medical services or hospital visits, or if that's a concern, then yeah, you've got to cross the bridge. And if the bridge is for whatever reason blocked up, that could add some time. I will say that I have to cross the bridge and go into Salem. I do it every day, by the way. So it's not like something I avoid. I do it every day, twice a day, and it's not a big deal. But when I want to go to Target or my favorite market, Trader Joe's, or go to Costco or the movies, I'm crossing the bridge. But again, not a big deal. The trade-off is really worth it for me. I absolutely love this part of Salem because, again, to me, it feels like I can breathe a little bit easier. And when I say convenient to downtown, I mean you're 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, depending on where in West Salem you live. If there's a little bit of traffic, add another 5 minutes or so, but it's really convenient. Now, there are other ways to cross the river. There's a ferry that runs north of West Salem that'll take you into the Kaiser area, but it's about 10-15 minute drive north, and you got to take the ferry over. It's $3 to cross, slows you down a little bit. Not the most convenient if you're trying to get into other parts of Salem. The other way is to go south and kind of west into Independence, which it's about 25 minutes way out of the way, and then you can cross over the river there. So there are other ways to cross the river, but the reality is you're really going to be only using one of those ways, and that's to cross the bridge. The other big controversy about West Salem is that it's pretty much all hillside properties. There is a flatter portion of West Salem. It's actually convenient in the fact that it's right adjacent to Wallace Road and Edgewater. Those are the two main streets that have our retail and restaurants and professional services and whatnot. So it makes it really convenient for that. The homes are a little bit older, a little bit smaller. But then the rest of Salem is going to be pretty much hillside property. But we want that. We love the rolling, meandering hills. We love the views that it creates, the privacy that it creates. And again, just that sense of space that creates. Some people don't like it because it makes it a little bit harder to get in and out of your neighborhood. It snows here once, maybe twice a year. It only lasts for a couple days, so it's not a big deal. But it can make it a little bit harder if, depending on type of property you have. Luckily for us, we do have a flat lot for the most part. We're on a hill, but we still have a flat lot, so our backyard's flat, which is great. But if you want your kids to play in the front yard or in the streets, you have hills to deal with. Some of these properties don't necessarily have big usable backyards. They've got more like decks that look over. So it really depends on what you're looking for. For us, it was just the perfect spot to be. Now, if you're wondering about what it costs to buy a home here, the median price in West Salem is going to be about $500,000. Now, this is going to be a lot less expensive if you're in the flats area, but as soon as you get outside of that, you're going to be paying a little bit more money. And if you want a little bit more land and space, which West Salem can provide that, then the price will go up. But the median price is $500,000. I also want to make note that if you are looking for newer homes, newer construction, West Salem is going to be the spot to look for to buy a home. We have not only new construction homes, we have newly constructed neighborhoods, and they're continuing to build out here. And also, a lot of the homes here are on the newer side in general. So a lot of homes here, many of them are built like 1990 and later. So it's a little bit unique in that way as well. If these videos are really helping you out and you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel, as I really try to provide as much information as possible because I experienced what you're going through. Moving to a new place, not all that familiar with. There was not a whole lot of information out there, or certainly wasn't when I moved out here a number of years ago. And that's why I do these videos. Hit the like button to get this video out to more people like yourselves thinking of moving to Salem, Oregon. Comment below. Love to hear your thoughts or questions. Also, as a reminder, I am Dave Fine, the real estate dads at eXp Realty, a local real estate agent. Love helping people move to the city of Salem and help you buy your home. Hit me up at the contact information popping up or in the description below.